The church stood abandoned at the edge of Blackwood Town, its broken windows whispering with the night wind. Locals avoided the place. Some said the walls still echoed with screams. Others claimed they had seen shadows move inside, even when the building was locked. But one story was whispered more than all others. The story of Evelyn Carter, a girl whose possession ended in a terrifying exorcism that no one dared to speak of in daylight. Evelyn had been an ordinary 19-year-old, quiet, shy, and deeply religious. But everything changed after she wandered into the old cemetery one October evening. She had been dared by her friends to bring back a cross from one of the forgotten graves. When she returned home, her parents noticed she was pale, trembling, and strangely silent. That night, Evelyn woke the entire neighborhood with screams that didn't sound human. Her voice was layered, deep, guttural, and shrill all at once, as though multiple beings were fighting to speak through her. She clawed at her own skin, whispering words in Latin, a language she had never studied. By morning, she was found rocking back and forth, her eyes rolling white, muttering, "It's mine now. This body is mine." Her parents rushed her to doctors. The doctors found no illness. They sent her to psychiatrists. But the more medicine Evelyn swallowed, the worse she became. At night, she laughed in voices that were not hers. She wrote symbols on the walls with her own blood. Her strength grew unnaturally strong. One evening, she lifted the heavy oak dining table with a single hand and hurled it across the room. Finally, her terrified parents turned to the church. Father Gabriel, an experienced priest, was summoned. He had performed 2 exorcisms before, both terrifying, but neither prepared him for Evelyn. The ritual began on a stormy evening. Evelyn was tied to a bed with iron chains, her wrists already bruised from earlier fits. The small room flickered with candlelight, shadows dancing across the walls. Father Gabriel opened his Bible, and the air itself seemed to grow heavier, pressing against the lungs. He sprinkled holy water on Evelyn's forehead. Instantly, she convulsed, thrashing violently, screaming in a man's deep voice, "You cannot take her. She is ours." Her body arched unnaturally, bones cracking as though something inside was bending her out of shape. Father Gabriel's voice trembled as he began reciting prayers in Latin. Evelyn's eyes snapped open, black, bottomless pits staring back. Then came the laughter, high-pitched, mocking, echoing from everywhere at once. The candles flickered and nearly went out. Furniture shook. A mirror shattered without being touched. Evelyn's mouth stretched unnaturally wide as Evelyn spat at him, the liquid sizzling like acid where it touched the floor. Her chains rattled violently as she slammed her body against the bed frame, trying to break free. The priest placed a crucifix against her chest. Evelyn let out a scream so piercing it cracked the glass lamp above them. Her back arched, her body levitating inches off the bed as the voices inside her howled and cursed. But then, something stranger happened. The voices began to fight each other. One cried out in sorrow, another in fury, another begged for release. Father Gabriel realized with horror, Evelyn wasn't possessed by one demon. She carried many, and they were battling for control of her flesh. For hours, the ritual continued. Evelyn's body twisted, her voice shifting from a child's cry to a woman's sob, to a growling beast. Father Gabriel's voice grew hoarse, his Bible shaking in his hands. But he did not stop. At exactly midnight, the room went silent. Evelyn's body collapsed, lifeless, her chest still. Her mother screamed, thinking her daughter dead. Father Gabriel pressed the crucifix harder, whispering one final prayer. Then Evelyn gasped, her eyes flying open. Not black this time, but her own green. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered in her true voice, "Father, it's so cold. They're still here." A blast of icy wind swept through the room, extinguishing every candle at once. The chains rattled, though no one touched them. And from the dark corners of the room, a low growl echoed. The priest froze. The ritual had freed some spirits, but not all. Something had remained behind. Something stronger. Evelyn was freed, but she was never the same again. She avoided mirrors, whispering that she could still see faces in the glass. She never entered a church again. Her laughter was rare, and when it came, it was short, nervous, as though she feared a voice would join in. And Father Gabriel? He left Blackwood within a week, never returning, never speaking of what happened that night. The church where the exorcism took place was locked and abandoned. To this day, passers-by claim they hear faint screams from inside. And sometimes, when the night is silent, you can hear a girl's whisper carried by the wind. "It's mine now. This body is mine."